What's up? What's up, you guys? Episode 2, we're in this bitch, right? Let's get to it. Man, does anyone know like why do podcasters wear I don't even know why I'm wearing these headphones, by the way. I just put them on just cuz like I just wanted to fit the aesthetics, but I'm starting to realize it's really annoying to talk with this cuz it creates some, like I'm just it's just weird, man. It's really weird. I don't like it. I didn't like it on the first one, but I did it because I wanted to fit the look of a cool podcaster. But you know what, man? We're not conformists here. Not on vibrations. We don't conform to shit. We figure shit out ourselves, and we go through life. We go through life how we please. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2. I have no idea what this whole podcast is going to be about. That first one that I did on remote viewing, it got more people. I was surprised at how many people listened in. So, fucking thank you. That was pretty cool. This next one, I'm kind of just going to be going back and forth across a couple of topics. I have some notes here of what I can talk about, but nothing as structured as that remote viewing. That one was as structured as it will ever be. And I'm probably not going to share my screen on this one because I didn't like the quality on the first one. So this is going to be primarily voice and just a video of me talking that I'll post on YouTube. But yeah, man, how's everyone doing? It's a fucking crazy time, right? Economy shattering, housing is crashing, depending on your definition of it all. We're fucking sending billions to Ukraine, and some shit's gonna go down in Taiwan. We're bombing the shit out of the Middle East and fucking Yemen with the Saudi military. So that's cool, right? We're all having fun and games. So this time, actually, before we get into all those fun topics, right? We're gonna smoke together. This is called Papa's Herb. That's not gonna focus because it's a 50 millimeter camera and there's no one to focus it. So it's called Papa's Herb. This is a hybrid 1 gram pre-roll. I got this from Finos, by the way, here in Modesto. Finos, if you're listening, my God, sponsor me because I give you guys so much fucking money. It's a 30% THC. So let's get this poppin', dude. I really like these podcasts. I was really nervous on the get-go, but after some really nice positive feedback and all the fucking first couple of steps have all been figured out, now we're moving and grooving. Now we're ready. I know now that my camera stops recording after like fucking 30 minutes, so we're not gonna continue to talk when the video stops, and I'm not gonna continue for a whole fucking hour when it wasn't recording. Fun fact, that's what happened on episode 1. So just in case you wanted to know how committed I am to this fucking ridiculous amount of time. We got our wig here. I'm glad some of you guys took my advice on ditching the butane lighters. Cause it's not good for you, man. All in all, you are taking in smoke in your lungs, but let's minimize all of the negative aspects of marijuana, right? Let's keep it all the way healthy here. No tobacco, no butane fumes, and we're just moving and grooving. And if you hear like a background noise, I'm gonna see if I can edit it in post. But I have like an AC running, and I have my dog with me, my little tiny baby doogie. Her name is Nala. So if you ever hear a dog crying or barking, or the AC unit going off, just be considerate, man. I'm just doing a fucking podcast here, getting high with you guys. But we got some cool topics. Don't get it twisted, bro. You're gonna learn some shit today. Every podcast, my goal is to fucking teach or have someone listening in learn something that they hadn't learned before. Okay, I just want to light this the proper way, because you know how joints be. You burn one side too much and then you're fucked, right? That's nice. That's nice. All right. Let's get this thing popping. So, one of the first things I wanted to talk about was the housing market, dude. If you guys don't already know, I'm a real estate agent. And the market's changing, man. A lot of people, especially people in my generation, millennials, we got kind of fucked, right? You know, we got like 2 recessions, we got like 2 or 3, technically like 4 or 5 economic crises, and now we're just like in adulthood, and we're like, hey man, this shit was not that hard when my parents were doing it, right? These motherfuckers bought houses for like 1 to 200,000, and now it's like, oh hey, welcome to the housing market, bitch. Go and buy a fucking $800,000 house. You know, like us millennials, we gotta stick together, because this is some bullshit. Because a lot of people don't understand that the shit that we're going through right now, you know, the COVID crash that happened, that recovered, the housing situation, recession, inflation, too much money in the system that's fucking everything up, supply chain issues. We don't make anything really in this country as much anymore ever since we enacted fucking, what was it, like NAFTA or something under the Clinton administration. And then we started to go ape shit with this whole globalization. And then we realized, hey, we probably should create some shit here at the home front, so prices, you know, like when shit hits the fan, as like the COVID pandemic showed us, you really need to have some domestic arms at hand to build the shit that we need to keep our infrastructure alive. But that's a radical idea, right? Shit drives me crazy, dude. So yeah, let's talk about housing. Because a lot of people that I talk to, and you know, I'm a new agent, according to, like, if you're under a year, you're basically you're new. But don't get this shit twisted, bro. One of the things that's so funny is when I told people I was an agent, they just kind of assume that, like, well, I guess it's not as crazy to assume if you know a new agent. You just kind of assume like, oh, well, they're new. They don't really know the market. They don't understand as much as these older folk, the vets in the game. But don't get that shit twisted for a second, buckaroo, because my background is in finance, in business, understanding political corruption, how the money system works, where the money goes, following the money and all that. So, dude, I was birthed basically in the fucking the Great Recession, bro. Like, when you talk to me and you talk to other millennials, because I don't want to disparage those other millennials, bro, because we're together on this shit, bro. You talking to us, bitch, we grew up in a fucking recession, bro. Our childhood was post 9/11. Motherfucker, we were raised on the fucking the threat levels, bro. You guys remember that fucking we got that color coded of terrorist threats of like green to red and shit. Motherfucker, I learned that in 2001 when I was in the first fucking grade. And you're here gonna talk to me like I don't know what's going on? Man, fuck you, bro. You grew up, you motherfuckers had cheap ass fucking houses and stuff, and I know, you know, taking into account inflation and the value of the dollar back then and stuff, but no, bro, like it's fucking insane now. If you want to talk about that in the current state and wage inflation and how real wages haven't kept up with the real inflation rate, by the way. If you didn't know, we don't even go by the CPI anymore, according to Jerome Powell, the chairman of the fucking Fed. It's all based on it's called like PCE. And the PCE doesn't take into account as heavily 3 major categories: housing, energy, and fucking food. What do you mean? Do we not eat food? Do we not fucking drive cars? Do we not like what? No, go look it up, bro. You think I'm lying? Go look at what Powell said. Go look at what the fucking PCE is and look at the comparison to a CPI and then come and talk to me about how fucked we are. Because we're fucked. I promise you. Not like fuck like, you know, the economy and stuff is fucked, but everything is based on your own individual circumstance, I suppose. So yeah, don't tell me we don't know what's going on, man. So let's just break it down really briefly of the housing market, right? So what the fuck happened? Why are prices going down right now? Well, motherfucker, we're gonna go back to 2008 because everything that's happening now, the root problem was in 2008. Everything, bro. So, go watch The Big Short. It's a fucking one of the greatest movies. It's one of my favorites next to like Wolf of Wall Street. And by the way, dude, I'm gonna get this out the way now, and I'm so glad I remembered. But one of the things I'm gonna talk about in a future podcast is like movies and genres, specifically in like horror and psychological horrors. Oh, here. I have a list of some of my best movies, and I'm gonna just bust them out all right now to you guys, and then we'll talk about it if I ever remember in the future. So, in no order at all, this is just like whenever I remember. So, The Great Gatsby, The Social Network, Wolf of Wall Street, The Big Short, Hereditary, Skyfall, It Follows, The Dark Knight Rises, of course, the whole fucking Christopher Nolan trilogy. It's just, you know, I just prefer the last two, obviously. Heath Ledger, and fucking Tom Holland. Is it Tom? No, it's not fucking Tom Holland. What's his fucking name? You guys know who I'm talking about. The dude who played Dane. Did I say Dane? I meant Bane. That's hella funny. Let's see. The Dark Knight Rises. Bane. Who the fuck played Bane? I know, I fucking see this guy's face all the time. Jeez, dude. You would think this would have just been an early ass search. Bro, what the fuck is this? Where is it? Wow, I can't believe I'm going off on a fucking tangent on Tom Hardy. Yeah, Tom Hardy. Okay, TH. My God, dude. Yeah, he's one of those. He's a real good buddy of Christopher Nolan, huh? He was in Inception too, I believe. He's in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. Anyways, I'm fucking going. Okay, let's get back to this. Insidious 1 and 2, Sinister 1 and 2, The Witch, Midsummer, of course. A24 is fucking just tearing the game up, bro. A24, dude. I mentioned a while back that I wrote a book, and I'm in the editing process right now, but it's a psychological horror, and I'm not going to go into the details of it because I'm still in editing, but my dream is to have A24 produce the movie, and dude, have like Ari Aster, or fuck, like a mix of Ari Aster and James Wan. I think that would be fucking amazing. So just putting that out there in our quantum universe, and hopefully that works. Where the fuck am I, dude? Midsummer, Oceans 11 through 13, bruh. I've never met anyone that fucks with Oceans 11. Like, not even just the George Clooney Brad Pitt rendition, the Rat Pack one. Like, that movie is so fucking close to my heart, and it just stems from so much, dude. Used to go to Vegas a lot and do a lot of sports betting with my boy, and I think that I've always loved Ocean's 11 and the whole like heist, but just the fact that the first original one was in Las Vegas, and just Las Vegas has a soft spot for me. But anyways, we'll get into that into another podcast. Jennifer's Body, Inglourious Bastards, No Country for Old Men, The Matrix, duh, the first one, Get Out, Shutter Island, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street. Are you fucking kidding me? Freddy Krueger. Okay, little quick story. The reason I got into Freddy Krueger was my brother. So in 1997, I was 4. Yeah, I was 4, and we used to live in the apartments in Hayward. And he called me into his room to show me like a video of something, and he put on Michael Jackson's Thriller, and he locked the fucking door, and he like played it, and it scared the shit out of me because I was 4 years old. So like, if you ever watched Thriller, and especially in 1997, there wasn't really anything crazy. Not yeah, Blair Witch Project didn't even come out. That was in like 1999. So there wasn't really anything. I'm trying to think of like zombie movies like 28. No, when the fuck did there was a like Evil Dead and stuff. I'm trying to go a little back to the old ones. I don't think there was anything like Thriller at the time. So anyways, he locks me in the room and he plays the fucking whole Thriller short film, like not just the music video, the whole fucking thing. So we go through the whole process of the movie theater scene and the girl getting scared and they walk and all that good stuff. So room's locked, lights are off, and I'm starting to freak the fuck out because I'm like, yo, this is scary as shit, bro. The makeup, it's all look way too real. And yeah, dude, that fucking scarred me for life. But then after that, bruh, I fucking loved, I like transitioned into Nightmare on Elm Street. Watched all those fucking films. This is when I was like a kid, bro. Like it was a couple months after that. So it was like, you know what I mean? It was a big revelation in my life to understand that I just love horror, bro. I don't know why. It's like, oh no, what was it? Fucking H.P. Lovecraft said it. He was like was it Lovecraft? It was whoever. There's a quote that says, the strongest human emotion is fear, and the strongest fear is of the unknown. I'm probably just butchered that quote, but it sounds silky smooth as fuck. So look that up. It's by, I think it's H.P. Lovecraft, and that dude was like amazing ass author who like I honestly need to look more into him because I've just realized how much he's influenced in the whole game of writing of like supernatural and horror and all that type of shit. So word up to Lovecraft. But anyways, back to the motherfucking list. Nightmare on Elm Street, Secret Window, Johnny Depp, like, hey, my boy, out of that shit, huh? Literally and figuratively. Why did I put The Matrix twice on here, dude? That's how good of a movie The Matrix is, by the way. If you have in The Matrix, just watch the first one, dude. Reloaded and Revolution. The fuck, man? Just leave it alone, dude. The first one is fucking one of the greatest, like, well, like all of these, I guess, are my greatest. But The Matrix is like something that's, it's more the documentary. You know what I mean? Like, it really is predicting how shit's about to go into the future and whatnot. And the last one is American History X, with Edward Norton, who's a fucking great actor. Talk about some real shit. You know what I mean? Tackle some tough topics with some great cinematography and dialogue. Yeah. Anyways, geez, what a tangent. Let's get back to fucking housing, right? So yeah, everything stems back to 2008, 2009. Why? Because Wall Street was doing some really shady shit back in those days with your guys' money. And when shit hit the fan, they got bailed out while you guys got fucked. Well, your parents did, and we had shit-ass childhoods because of it, if you were unfortunate, as many were at that time. So The Big Short, the movie, covers that topic very well. On the side of Michael Burry, who bet against the housing market at the time and was looked on like he was crazy. And he proved everyone wrong when he was predicting that the whole market would crash because lenders were giving lenders were giving mortgages to people who didn't qualify. If you're in the market right now, you know you have to jump through hoops and fucking everything, dude, through hoops and all the fucking circus activities they have. They want you to do the whole nine. And back then they didn't. If you were alive, hey, you got a mortgage. That's is how it worked back then. And there were these, they didn't have laws on how these mortgages would be lent out. So some of these mortgages had balloon payments that were due on the spot after really cheap monthly mortgage payments in the beginning. And when it came down to pay the piper, people were like, yo, I can't pay fucking $5,000 here. I can't do this. I can't do that. So there was hella foreclosures, hella short sales, bank repossessing people's properties, selling it off at dirt cheap fucking prices. Now, what do you think happened? What do you think happened at that very moment when everyone's 401ks, everyone's houses were getting repossessed, they were on the streets, they were back to renting, they were back to where they were previously or in a much worse situation? What happened? Well, corporations and the wealthy purchased all the fucking property, bro. They bought it at dirt prices. You know, and some people, you know, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people that were affected by the situation also found ways to buy these new houses on foreclosures, through courthouse approvals and shit like that. And they came up, but a majority got fucked. There was no bailout. There were some firms that collapsed. Lehman Brothers, Countrywide. Yeah, Countrywide. Bear Stearns. Go look at some YouTube videos, dude. It was fucking insane. Like, what was happening there? Because that was the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst that could happen had happened in 2008, 2009. And Wall Street got a bailout, dude. It was the TARP, T-A-R-P plan, fucking act, whatever. The bottom line is they got like a $1.2 trillion bailout signed off by good old fucking Obama. Man, we're gonna go into Obama one of these days. I'm so tired of you motherfuckers just putting this asshole up on this pedestal. Dude allowed so much fucking surveillance on the American population, and you guys are here like, yes, king. Like, shit, dumbasses, bro. Like, shit gets me so pissed off, bro. Like, all this fucking woke politics and stuff with no actual economic or sustainable plan to actually help the people. Like, bruh, I don't give a fuck what your color is. I don't give a fuck who you love, bruh. Hate all of you equally. You know what I mean? This shit gets me so mad. I'm like, cool. We got the first POC in whatever. Like, can we get affordable housing for everyone or nah? You know what I mean? Like, hey, cool, but motherfuckers can't buy a mortgage and the rent is more expensive than the mortgage. Like, we're just letting that slide now? Like, why the fuck are we okay with rent being more than a fucking mortgage? Like, is that not a scam? Like, what? That shit doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, jeez, bro. We're supposed to be landed like the prosperity and stuff, and we're just here just screwing the working class, bro. Anyways, bro. So yeah, these assholes bought all the property and people came up. Wall Street got a bailout, and after that point, home builders. So if you were a home builder before 2008, you're building houses. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of risk you're doing because you got to build a fucking house, build it, and then hope someone buys it. So after 0809, after the whole fucking housing market collapses, houses lost like, well, I don't even know what the fucking, some houses lost like 70% of their value. It was just an insane cut in prices, right? Do you think that would make more home buyers come, or home builders come into the space, or less? It's going to be less, right? Because no one's going to want to come into that. knowing that shit could just hit the fan like that at any moment, and they didn't want to risk their capital. They rather put it in something else, like stocks, because, and we're gonna get into this, they started to print a shit ton of money. The Federal Reserve Bank, they started to print a shit ton of money to backstop the economy, to make sure that this shit in 08, 09 would never happen again. And that's what they did. If you look at the M2 supply, which is the supply of money that is in circulation, look at what happens after 2008 up until 2021. It's an exponential rise. And they did that to make sure everything was running smooth and everything. So in turn, the stock market was doing great. So if you're a home builder, would you rather put money into building a home where there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of uncertainty about the future of the housing market at the time? This is 2009, 2010. Or would you put it into some tech stocks which were fucking starting to yield like 20, 30, 50% returns on the year? You're going to put it in the fucking stock market, because the Federal Reserve is there to print money to make sure that stocks are going back up. Everything is appreciating. Our economy is booming, to put that facade on. So that's what people did. That's how everyone got into stocks, and that's why it kept going up, because money kept the party going. So there weren't any houses to be built. There weren't as many developers at the time to build houses. So over the past decade, 2010 to 2020, we didn't meet the rising demand that we would see in the present years, because home builders didn't want to get into the space. We're still way behind. If you look at on Instagram, on Keeping Current Matters, they have a nice graph to showcase the seller's market, which is the buyer's market, which is at the very top, which indicates that there's a shit ton of supply of homes on the market. So sellers will reduce their prices and abide by the buyer's offer details. The buyers are just way more powerful when there's a lot of supply. You know what I mean? Like if there's 1,000 people that sell apples, they're all gonna reduce their prices because they want your business. If there's only 10 buyers, they're gonna give the best deals to the 10 people, right? It's the same principles, bro. It's a simple fucking supply and demand. So over the years, we just didn't accumulate enough homes for the demand. And if you look at the chart on that Instagram, it shows the buyers where the home supply was at like 8 to 9 months. And as of today, I think we're at like 2 to 4 or something like that, around that range. So there is not nearly as much supply of homes in the current market to meet the buyer demands. The only reason you're seeing the rate of homes decreasing their prices and less homes getting sold as quickly is because of interest rates. They rose the interest rates to create demand destruction, is what they're doing, the Federal Reserve Bank. They're increasing the interest rates to slow shit down because inflation is high. And we're going to get into those in a little bit. I want to just finish up on the housing. So let me just take a quick sip here. So yeah, with no one building houses, that was leading up to a shitstorm, along with the Fed printing more money to make sure that 0809 crash never happened again. So that's why there was just a crazy appreciation in homes and stocks over the past decade, right? And then COVID happens, economy shuts down, and if you look back at the chart, if you look at the look at SPY, the graph, the S&P 500, you'll see that in March 2020 it just dips down and then shoots back up. That's called a V-shaped recovery. The reason for that is because the Fed stepped in again and they printed a shit ton more money. They said, nope, we told you motherfuckers, we're not letting 0809 happen again. Here's fucking billions and trillions of dollars. Billions, yeah. It's probably billions. Is it a trillion? I don't know, dude. These numbers aren't real anyways. None of this is real, but It fucking was a crazy ass amount and it backstopped the economy, and that's why everything recovered. So now, along with printing the money, which, man, who would have thought, dude? No top economist thought, hey, we probably shouldn't print so much goddamn money. No one thought about that. And what happened was, is as we printed more money, inflation started to go higher. We had to pay more money for shit that we would buy because the prices were like, we're losing the value of how much a dollar was back then versus now. Look back at how much what do you think you could buy for $100 today versus $100 in 1990? You know what I mean? Like, that printing of money reduced our value, and thus prices of consumer goods had to go up in accordance to inflation. And we just let that shit keep going. Well, the Fed kept it going. And now, when inflation is so goddamn high, the only thing the Fed is doing is increasing the interest rates to halt demand. So they're saying, like, hey, we printed all this money. There's clearly inflation that we didn't address for a decade plus. We have a shit ass infrastructure where we don't domestically make as much as we did back in the Dizzy, right? We outsource a shit ton. Everything is made in China practically. Let's just raise the interest rates to make everyone stop buying shit without fixing supply. Demand destruction. And now we're in an environment where there's high inflation, there's high interest rates, we haven't fixed supply, and no one's talking about it. And we're just here like, well, not we. When I say like we, I'm talking about us, bro. Like, you and me, us, bruh. When I'm talking about them and they, bro, I'm more than likely talking about corporation, Wall Street, government. Like, bruh, like, when I'm so... Listen, man. And this is another tangent, bro. I'm super, like, toasted right now, but I really need to get these thoughts out because it makes me so mad. So, yeah, listen, man. I just want to get this out because it's so annoying when... I just hate how our differences are so emphasized instead of the similarities we all have and share, like across the board of like races, ethnicities, sexual orientation, like whatever, like whoever the fuck you are. Like, bruh, it's just crazy to me that we just come so far from realizing that we're all just the same and just different perspectives, but we all got the core similarities, like our core values, our fucking thought processes. Because, like, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of diverse people. Like, my group of friends, the people that I know and hang out with, the people who I trust, the people who I, you know, like, cherish and shit, bro. Like, they're all from different nationalities. They all come from totally different backgrounds, dude. Like, and that's what I love, bro. Like, we're all the same, bro. So let's just stick to similarities. The shit that you see on the news, bro, it's a polarizing advertising marketing platform. That's not the news. By the way, there was a whole court case on like fucking what's that lady's name on MSNBC, Rachel Maddow and Tucker Carlson, on both spectrums, right? Dems and Republicans. And another side note, dude, don't ever fucking label me as any of these sides, bro. I hate when people ever assume that I'm like one side. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here, bro. Don't ever associate me with that dumbass tribalism shit. Anyways, so there was like a court ruling which stated that these kinds of networking shows on Fox and MSNBC, they're entertainment. They're designated as entertainment shows, not news reporting, you know, like companies. So look into that too. It's just something to consider, man, because it's like the news sucks, dude. The mainstream media fucking blows, bro. They're fucking awful, dude. They spit nothing but lies and try to divide the people and shit like that. Like, you know where we come from, bro? Like, you know how much power the citizens have in this country, dude? Like, do you know what happens in third world countries, dude? Like, they don't have fucking bills of rights. Like, dude, take some fucking pride in that, bro. Like, everyone, every single one of you, bro, you can do some shit however you like, within the law, and make sure you're not killing anyone and stuff, you know? But, like, dude, do you? Like, bro, these are our unalienable rights, bro. Like, what the fuck? Why does this ever have to be a political thing, bro? Like, I want you to have the same rights as me. I want you to have rights to your privacy, to fucking, to be who you are, to say what you want. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, dude, I wish one day, bruh, I'd be thinking like, damn, one day I'm on like the stage representing, like, I don't know, an independent party or something, and talking about politics, and I'm like, hey, what is going on? Why don't we have fucking universal health care for everyone? Hey, what the hell's going on with housing? Why are we not tackling inflation? Hey, like, what the fuck is going on with the FDA? Like, these approvals, and 5 years later there's a recall. Like, hey, are we gonna talk about any of that? Are we gonna talk about the lobbyist dollars that go into Washington? Are we gonna talk about how it costs like $1 million to be in a political, like, a, what are they called in Congress, for like part of members and part in different committees? Are we gonna talk about how it's like $1 million to sit on a committee, and those are paid off for those politicians by corporations and lobbyist groups? Like, is anyone gonna talk about that? Like, we got money for all, like, dude, guys, like, on that subject too, like, universal healthcare, like, guys, we can actually pay for it. Like, listen, we can actually do that. We just have to stop spending trillions of dollars to our military, and, you know what I mean? And, like, these crooked ass, like, tax loopholes for the ultra wealthy. Like, we can totally pay to have everyone have solid healthcare and wages for doctors, and everyone to be at a progressive level. Like, we can do this, guys. I promise. It's not economically hard. Just something I want to point out real quick. But yeah, dude, like, the media sucks, dude. I have fucking no idea where I'm at in this topic, dude. I'm sorry, guys. I'm super toasted right now. I only smoke like 25% of this, by the way. But yet I'm here, like, sponsor me. Anyways, I wrote down, like, I think I went through like 3 inceptions, or like two or three rabbit holes. Okay, so let's try to roll it back from all of these fucking tangents, and let's get back to housing and where we're at right now. So rates are high because the Fed wants to halt demand in hopes to create price stability. So they're saying, hey, maybe if we raise the rates and everyone doesn't want to buy everything, maybe that will then cause prices to chill out, you know, like, everyone relax. But it's not going to work because you need supply there. I promise you, you need supply there. And you need to tackle supply in the areas that make up the highest percentage of the CPI. Housing, transportation, and food, right? So what does that mean? Let's build more houses. Let's get some more oil. Oh my god, dude, the oil. Oh my god, dude. Can we, oh my goodness, can we get the Saudis to drill more fucking oil, or are we just gonna keep pretending like we're not backing their entire fucking military, bombing Yemen and fucking those poor individuals? We're just not gonna talk about that, but whatever, dude. My god, dude, this, like, you want to, yeah, bro, stand for Ukraine, right? Let's boycott Russia, but let's keep taking Saudi fucking oil, you fucking dumbasses, bro. My god, dude. Go look it up. Go look at how much oil we get from Saudis, and go look at the fucking past interactions between the White House and fucking MBS. He's the crown prince of of the Saudis. So go look at that, dude. You're gonna learn something. And go look on it on DuckDuckGo. What are you doing on Google? Are you fucking... What are you doing? Get the fuck off of that. My God, dude. Okay, you want to know why? Go on Google. Go look at fucking Julian Assange, dude. Go learn about Assange. Go look at what he revealed about Google and tracking. And Edward Snowden. Like, my God, dude. Do I have to tell you everything here? Go look up Edward Snowden, NSA, and then after that, go look up Julian Assange and go look at what's happening to both. More so Julian Assange. It's fucked up, man. Have you guys noticed like how many fucking like food factories have exploded or just like combusted in the past like 6 months? Is that normal, or I haven't looked into it. I'm like I'm genuinely intrigued by that, or not intrigued, but like curious. Is that fucking normal? Like, do those explode, or am I losing my fucking mind here thinking what I know we're all thinking? Okay, and before we start again, I just had to take like a fucking hour break, and I had to, not an hour break, but I had to go and take care of some fangers. So we're gonna get back on this. I make sure I wrote it down. Don't think I'm slipping. Ain't slipping. So yeah, we were talking about the 3 points: energy, housing, and food. We need more supply to combat the demand that we have, but instead the Fed is creating demand destruction in order to create price stability. When there's inflation, it just causes more harm than good, right? So it's going to get a lot worse. So now we get onto the topic of, hey, Shamoot, you broke it down, you explained the root of the problem, you explained where we're at, but where are we heading? And here's a point that I want to make as I light this joint up again, because it's been too long. When you're talking with real estate agents or just anyone in real estate, dude, you know what I like to see more of? I want to see more of people's thought processes. I don't care that you can memorize a script. I don't care if you can memorize the data regurgitating what an economist said, a Fed chairman or Fed chair says, or Fed governors, a CEO, Wall Street, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I want to know your thoughts, because that's what differentiates the goods from the greats. I know a lot of people in real estate now, a lot of them, and you know, good people all around. You know, they're in it to make money, as we all are. Like, let's be honest. But I promise you, maybe 20%. Maybe even not, what, 20? Wow. Nah, I want to say maybe 10% of people know what's going on. And to know what's going on, you have to be a little bit crazy, and you have to already know the history of it. History of politics, history of money, history of foreign relations. There's a lot that goes into everything. What, you think we just became the fucking global currency standard for the fuck of it? You kidding me, man? You know how much politics it gets involved with all of this stuff? So like, my thing is that I don't listen to a lot of people in real estate unless I hear a distinguished opinion from them. There's not a lot of people like, okay, yeah, you can tell me what's going on right now. What's going to happen in the future? What's going to back that up? What's backing up your statement? Why do you say that? Show me something. And not a lot of people can do it. But I can. You know why? I don't know. I really don't know, dude. I just started on a fucking existential crisis journey back in 2020. Never look back. So what's gonna happen? So right now, the Fed, or not the Fed, the CPI data came out. And turns out inflation didn't increase month over month from the previous month. So now it's just sitting at like 8.6% year over year, which is still fucking horrible. By the way, let's not celebrate, relax. So on paper, it's showing that it didn't increase, inflation didn't increase month over month. And that was primarily due to gas dropping, and I believe housing prices were reduced because of the rise in interest rates and sellers wanting to just sell that shit. And not to mention, like, on the whole gasoline going cheaper, we're also releasing 1 million barrels of oil today from our strategic reserves, and that ends in November. So this is going to tie into why I think we're fucked when it comes for wintertime. So inflation doesn't go up so much. This is great news, which means the Fed doesn't have to raise interest rates as crazily, because the last two times, is it 2 times? It was 75 basis points, which just means 0.75%. And this is the federal funding rate, by the way. This isn't like fucking mortgages. They're raising the rates for banks that borrow money from the Fed, and I believe it's with each other. I'm not sure. It's just it's the secondary players, bro. It's on the very top, and then the mortgage rate goes by the 10-year yield, and you can like see the charts and stuff on those online on like Y charts or something, Yahoo charts. So now it's indicating from the CPI data that the Fed won't increase the rates as hectically, but they're still gonna raise the rates because we're still at 8.6 whatever year over year inflation. So without a doubt, mortgage rates are gonna go higher. The thing is, interest rates are unsustainable at these higher rates because of our national debt. We have about $30 trillion in debt, folks. And when interest rates go up, means the US government is going to be paying more money towards their interest than their principal balance. You think Uncle Sam likes that shit? You bet your ass he doesn't. So these rates are not sustainable due to the amount of money we're already, in the hole with. Is that the phrase? I'm in the hole? Just too much money. It's just it can't be that, it cannot stay that high, bro. It just cannot. So what's gonna happen now is we're gonna see prices of homes continuing to drop while rates are gonna continue to increase until we start to see inflation really start to cool down, and the Fed wants to increase unemployment to about, I think there's like 10%. Yeah, we're at like 3% right now. So they want to increase it to 10% in order to create price stability amongst wages. So yeah, dude, that's not gonna be cool. Bad shit happens when people get unemployed. You know what I mean? It's not fun. So we're gonna see home prices go lower in the winter because we haven't priced in the energy crisis we're gonna have. It's gonna bleed over from the EU to Britain and then over to us over the winter because of our fragile energy grid. We're gonna have rolling probably like blackouts or whatever happens to Texas over like energy shortages and stuff. So there's going to be some issues with energy, as well as house prices going down while interest rates are going up, and we're going to have a period of stagflation where it's kind of just up in the air and just everything is terrible. So if I was talking to someone that wants to buy a home, I would say now is the time you want to get pre-approved, and now is the time to get your ducks in order, and now is the time to talk to me, because I'm that guy, fella. You know what I mean? No, but for real, get your shit in order. Go talk to your agent, whoever you go through or whatever, and come wintertime, man, you'll be ready. You'll have your pre-approvals and you'll be ready to go. Cause like, what do you think? And you know what? Another quick fact. I think we're at like 15%, just shy of 15% of homes being bought by institutions in the past like 2 years. Like, hey, when prices go lower, come winter, you're gonna come with your fucking pre-approval and you're gonna get outbidded, bruh. Like, I guarantee you, if it's gonna be a cold winter and prices really drop, LLCs and corporations are gonna come in and swoop that single family home those motherfuckers have wet dreams about. I'm telling you, man. You want to have home ownership. Don't rent. Don't give up your fucking property, dude. Like, don't give up that goal. Have that goal to get land. Like, dude, I'm gonna have a fucking one day. I'm gonna have 100,000 fucking acres of land, just somewhere on a fucking. It's gonna be my own island. It's gonna be like 100,000 acres, something huge, 1,000,000 acres. I don't know. And dude, it's just, and I'm gonna call it 100 acres woods, because my fiance loves Winnie the Pooh, so I'm gonna call it that. But just knowing it's like 1,000,000 acres, it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be hilarious. Just hella forest, dude. Just hella forest and shit. Underground, like underwater swimming pools and shit. Just crazy stuff. But anyways, yeah. So, dude, I don't even know where the fuck I went with that. Where am I? Oh yeah, wintertime. So yeah, if you're gonna buy, it's gonna be wintertime. I have a high confidence rate that it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be painful. It's never easy, but just have shit ready to go. So that's with housing. Woo. Anyway, so this podcast is sponsored by Fino's Weed, whatever. Damn, dude, I really want to get a sponsor on this shit. Oh fuck! Did you hear my dog? Hey, what's wrong? Oh. Hey, you good? Come here. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Come here. You guys want to see my dog? Hold on. Oh. Yes, sir. Oh, what's it? This is Nala. She's a little tiny baby doobie. I hope the camera's getting this. You want to say hi, Mama? This is Nala. She's going to be 5 in fucking October. I hate it and I'm going to cry. She's my sweet girl, as you can see. She likes to be held sometimes, and she gives kisses like these. You want to say something? Hey, say something. Can you? Hey, come here. Say something. I hope you guys heard that. Anyways, yeah, dude. So need to get weed sponsors. Oh, so on the last podcast, we talked obviously about the mysterious Mr. Anderson. And a lot of one of the things that was brought up is that I need to have an interview with the one and only Mr. Anderson. And yeah, dude, that'd be sick as fuck. We're going to get that going one of these days. He's rocking and rolling right now. So I'm going to wait till things die down a little bit and hit him up on that and see if we can get something going. Because that would be cool. I think that would be fucking a brilliant podcast. So we're going to get something like that going soon. I'll message him today. I'll make note of that. So what else we got here? Oh, yeah. So I put a poll up the other day of like topics that I should talk about, and a couple of them was just like on the housing, so I was like, okay, I'll make note of that. So that's why I went really in depth with the housing for you guys, so I hope you guys appreciated that. But the other one was, what is my favorite physics theory? So with this one, Buckle up. Buckle up. So with physics, I think the most interesting and my favorite thing to have a focal point on is the wave particle duality, because it's from the wave particle duality that we eventually get to the notion that the universe may be a quantum in a superposition that we influence with our consciousness. You fucking heard me right. We're going there. So the wave particle duality starts with this whole figuring out if light is a particle or a wave, right? Like, is it one or the other? And I think like back in the day, I don't know like word for word, dude. It's just some general idea that I have came across, but we first thought it was a wave, and then we figured out that the light behaved as a particle when they were running these experiments, throwing them through like different trials to see how it reacted under certain environments. And it was like particle, wave, and then it's like, hey, maybe it's fucking both, huh? Oh, and then we figured out from fucking Bohr's experiment. Bohr's like, it's some crazy shit. I just realized I like learned this in like 5th grade, and no one else was like, what the fuck? I was like, wait, what do you mean it can be both? And then it's the whole like observer effect, and we change the fucking behavior on whether it's a particle or a wave. That eventually happened, right? Like, I feel like that's something that we kind of just accepted, like it was normal. Like, dude, wait, it can be both. And it, like, you know that experiment, this is the Bohr's experiment, the double slit experiment, where like we're looking at light going through a slit and it acts a certain way as a particle, and then when we observe it, it acts as a wave when we go back and look at how it reacted when the observer wasn't looking. Like, dude, it's crazy. There's actually a there's a YouTube video where this dude goes into it. It's like it has 2.3 million views as of fucking August 16th. So if you want to use that as a reference, but it's a great ass video. And he goes into basically everything that I'm talking about, of the history of the wave particle, the wave, or the light wave, and the wave particle theories of the past. So the reason why I like it is because with the observer effect, it now tells us that we have an influence on the universe in one way, shape, or another. And then we get into the aspect of how us being observers has an effect on something that we're looking at without, like, how do we have an effect on it if we're not physically seeing us affecting it, and it's just our consciousness being aware of said particle or wave. And it gets into the idea of the universe being a quantum and quantum mechanics. I talked about this in the previous podcast with Dean Radin. I believe his article is The Universe Quantum, and he talks about how our consciousness, what we think about, what we manifest, is put out into the universe from our brains and our consciousness into the universe, which is in a superposition, and from our consciousness creates our reality. You know what I mean? So that's really interesting to think about. And when we're talking about it, it all stemmed from the wave particle duality, right? It all started from that beginning to see like how one thing was another, and then we eventually figured out like, hey, maybe this shit's more complicated than we thought. So there's no doubt in my mind that there's something that our consciousness can emit that affects our own reality. No doubt in my mind. I'm not smart enough to talk about it, but I'm positive that there is a connection in that aspect. So yeah, man. Quantum mechanics, quantum theory, wave particle duality, just some regular shit, right? Wow, I wonder where we're at on the podcast number. Well, I think I covered everything that I want to talk about today. I don't want to get into too much anymore. Trying to keep these things brief. So, if you made it this far, man, thanks for listening. This was episode 2. Um, you guys know where to follow me at CRTNCO. Um, Man, dude, I need to get an intro going, like, or like an outro. I never know how to end this shit, but yeah, dude, I guess I'll end it like that.